All right, guys, got Coach Rhule joining us now. Answer questions y'all have for him. I think everyone has recording access. If not, just give me a shout. I'll give that to you. Coach, can you hear us on your end?
I can.
All right, perfect. Let's go to Vashti Hurt and then Chris Jenkins for the first two questions.
Hi, Coach. We talked last week about third quarters being a struggle for you guys, and you had statistically, as far as scoring, your best third quarter of the season against the Lions. Can you talk about what went well coming out of halftime?
I think we just spoke it into existence. We just decided it wasn't going to be a problem anymore. Even at halftime, we said, "All right, it's the third quarter. It's our quarter. Let's go." And made some plays, got down there and scored. So, and I really think it started with the defense getting that stop and getting us good field position as an offensive team. So, I think it's just something that everyone resolved. Hey, we're going to get fixed, and we didn't do anything differently. We just did it better.
Hey, Coach, it's Chris Jenkins. I was wondering if you could describe what your communication has been like with Mr. Tepper this year. Whether it's been something that's daily or weekly, whatever that may be, and what you can share about those conversations. And lastly, if he's addressed the team at all this year on a game day.
Has he addressed? No, Mr. Tepper doesn't. He doesn't address the team. I mean, he'd be certainly welcome to if he wanted to. Yeah, I mean, I talk to him all the time. When I say all the time, I talk to him here and there. Whenever he needs something or I need something, he's readily available, and that was something that was very important to me. And in terms of taking a job in the NFL, is I wanted to go somewhere where I had a direct line of communication to the ownership, and he's a brilliant thinker. He's an innovator. So anytime I have a question, I can go to Marty, I can go to him, I can go to Tom Glick, Steve Drummond, Bruce Spade. I mean, there's a bunch of people here outside of the football staff that I know I can go to and get different perspectives. Mark Hart as well. So, yeah, I mean, he doesn't get involved in the football ever. He just kind of lets me do that. And he's been a great owner.
Let's go to Joe Person for the next question, followed by Elena Getzenberg.
Matt, I'm sure you'll get a better sense Wednesday, but just wondered kind of what your early read is on both Teddy and Christian.
Yeah, I mean, I would expect Teddy to practice on Wednesday, and then we'll just kind of take it from there. He was, like I said, he was cleared to play yesterday, so I would assume he would be ready to go Wednesday. But I usually just try to take things day by day. Saw him for a little bit today, in meetings. So we'll see Wednesday, and then Christian, we'll see if he can do anything Wednesday, and just continue to take it week by week. See how he feels.
Hey, Matt, I was curious, Tahir didn't end up playing at all yesterday. Was that at all due to the injury, or was there another reason for that?
I mean, he was banged up. He was there sort of, just banged up from the ribs from the week before. And, there's no one with the toughness of Tahir, so he suited up for us if we needed him. But we went into that game not planning on playing him. Hopefully another week will do him good.
I was curious, I understand that yesterday was more related to the injury, but his playing time has kind of decreased a bit throughout the course of the season. Is that at all scheme related, or is there anything you need to see from him, or just your thoughts on him this year?
Just like I said last week, I'm not going to do a bunch of like year-long guys in review. I'd rather talk about just each week. I think Tahir goes out each and every week like a lot of our guys in battles and fights to help us win. And, we play him in certain packages. Each week's a little bit different. This was a week that we were able to stop the run early. And so we were able to, be in more of a 3-down, stand-up burns, kind of a different type of a package. And the guys who played in that, I thought played really well.
Let's go to Josh Klein and then Jonathan Alexander.
Just kind of building off that Tahir question, hoping that you could talk or tell us a little bit about what you saw from Jermaine Carter in his largest workload, and then I have another question after that.
Yeah, I mean, he maybe it was larger than when he played against Kansas City. I mean, he played a ton in Kansas City as well when Jeremy was out. Jermaine's come further and further and further every week. He's a really good player on special teams. I think he's really, I think he'd be a guy that maybe I would say, maybe he wouldn't say, but I thought struggled early on with the process that we have in place, and has really bought into it. And as a result, has seen his role grow and grow and grow. He's really dependable on special teams. He filled in for Chin against Kansas City as the Sam and base and as the nickel Will. Yesterday he played as the 3-down Mike and as the 4-down Mike. Didn't play in nickel. So you have a guy that versatile. You can use him, and I thought he played really well yesterday. I thought he had tremendous quickness. He ran through gaps, and so he's a guy to me that as you look at the team, you evaluate the way you're doing things. He's come really far. He's playing his best football right now.
And then obviously this season you've talked a lot about the process and guys buying in and the brand and culture and your type of player. Does it need to manifest itself on the field in terms of wins and shutouts and performances like you had yesterday in order for that buy-in to continue and to grow?
Maybe for it to continue, but you don't get shutouts without guys buying in first. And the unfortunate fact sometimes is that sometimes you have to have losses for people to say, hey, we better hurry up and buy into this. And so I thought the Buccaneers loss, which, in my mind, it wasn't as separate as the score, but it felt really bad at the end. I think that led to, and we've been making progress. I thought we played, some really good football at times versus the Chiefs. We played a good first half against Tampa, but I thought that feeling come out of that game led to our best week in terms of preparation and playing one snap at a time, which that's all really when I say process, all I'm saying is prepare at a high level and play one snap at a time. I thought that showed up in the game. So you hope that what you hope is that guys try to build off of it, right? They say, okay, that's working for me. Troy Pride plays the whole game. He says, well, I'm a way better player than I was early in the year. I'll just continue to do these things and I'll get better and better and better. So, we all need results sometimes to believe in something, but to get results, you have to, go out on a limb. And that's why I respect the guys that went out there yesterday and have played all year, because they had to buy in, to at least some of what we were doing before there was results. And, some results at least showed up yesterday.
Hey, Matt, hope you're doing well. Another player, I guess I noticed played a lot more, Stanley Thomas Oliver. Was that the plan from the beginning, and how did you feel he played after looking at film?
Well, I mean, obviously, early on in the year, we had some more guys. We had Eli at one point. Dante was playing, Sewell, Troy. So he was a little bit, Stanley was just a little bit further down the list. He's been active and inactive at times, kind of been a special teams guy at times. Played against Atlanta because of injuries. Got in there yesterday. I think this week he had a really good week. He knew he was going to play. I think that's one thing that we did well this week was knowing that Dante was going to be down probably. I mean, he would be an emergency guy only, giving him that time for his foot. I think guys like Troy and Stanley and Jamerson, got elevated this week and got in the game. They knew they were going to play. And I think Stanley's, he's coming along. He's going to be a really good player. When we drafted him in the 7th round, we knew that he has the skills to play in this league. Just needed time and experience, and he's getting that right now. I thought he played well in the game. Had a hold on special teams, which was unfortunate. But other than that, I thought I did some good things.
Go to David Newton, followed by JB Ricks.
Hey, Coach, congratulations on your win yesterday. What's Curtis Samuel bring beyond the catches and the touchdowns and the runs to this team?
Just a mentality. I mean, he doesn't say very much. Doesn't complain. I mean, just doesn't make excuses. He's just got a tough mindset, and he does whatever needs to be done. You can coach him. I truly believe that iron sharpens iron, and when you get to the point where coaches and players can speak honestly with each other and push each other, and there is no sensitivity, you can really be good. And Curtis is that guy, man. I mean, you can coach him. If he says something to me, I listen. I mean, I have a lot of respect for him. And he's so versatile, to be able to, I don't, I don't want to compartmentalize all the things. To have someone who can run and catch and get open and block, that's really rare these days. Or I shouldn't even say rare. To do it at his level might be rare, and it's a lot of credit to him.
Hey, Coach, JB Ricks here from Spectrum News One. Thanks for taking out the time. I just want to ask you about yesterday's performance and what it says about your coaching staff to be able to get your team to pitch a shutout and perform the way that they did with a backup quarterback and a backup running back, and do what you guys did against another NFL organization the way that you did yesterday. What does it say about your coaching staff and the level of preparation that you guys put in and week out with your plans?
Well, I think the players get, I think the players get the credit, but I think the assistant coaches and coordinators definitely get credit as well. I think they too came off of last week's game and said, okay, we've got to find a way to get it done this week at a higher level. We got to find a way to go 1-0 this week. You walk in and it's like, hey, Teddy might not be up, and Christian's not up, and Russell Okung's not up, and Johnny Miller's not up. That's tough. And defense, hey, we're not going to have Dante. You're not going to have Sam Franklin probably. Might not have Whitehead. I think the guys on both sides of the ball and the special teams coaches, they just said, what's next? They just attacked it and gave the guys a plan that they could run with. I think the players, were focused, and that let the coaches give them even more. I think they put guys in tremendous positions to be successful. I thought that was, you guys get tired of me saying these things, but I thought that was like a process win. That wasn't like, hey, one dynamic player made enough plays for us to go win. That was like complementary football in a lot of different ways. And, I told our defense for them to go out there and after two interceptions thrown in the end zone and for them to get a stop, that was complementary football. That was big time football for an offense, with a second string quarterback to go out there, backup quarterback to go out there and drive 95 yards. That was good football. And so that credit goes to the players. They're the ones executing, but I thought the coaching staff, and again, I mentioned yesterday, Jake Peets as a quarterback coach, getting 3 guys ready, Pat Meyer shuffling up the lineup yet again, Phil and his staff coming up with a tremendous third down game plan pressure package. I thought it was good, but I just think it's just growth. Everyone's going to look at it in a lot of different ways. I mean, it was just our, 11th week together. So, they're growing and learning more and more.
All right, let's go to Darren Gann and then Will Kunkel.
Matt, obviously this year's different because everybody's got to come in every day to get tested and all that kind of stuff. But in an ordinary situation, would you give players a victory Monday, day off after a win, or does that run counter to process?
Yeah, the process is never the schedule. If I think they need a day, I'll give them a day. We're not really in that maybe position right now. I think our Mondays are very fair to the players too. Like we meet and then just lift. So I've changed the schedule up to try to give them time at different times. So, to me, the process is just a mindset of attacking every day. So if I think, that we need, and I'm not always right, but, as a kind of the schedule maker, if I think we need 5 hours, we go 5 hours, attack it. If we go 2 hours, if we give them off, just attack whatever's there. And so it's just a mindset of maximizing each day. There was no victory Monday today. We came into work and we're just going to try to build off of the things we did well and correct the things we didn't do well heading into, this Minnesota game.
Hey, Matt, it's Will from Fox 46. You mentioned the process buying into your system rather. And we always talk about that, but we never talk about what that is. So what is it for you and your team that the guys, took a couple losses to say, we better buy into this system and we better do it now? What exactly is that?
Yeah. And I don't want to I might've said that wrong. I think guys have bought in from the very beginning. I just think each week, you have, you can either, especially when you lose, Will, like you can either be like, man, this doesn't work. Like, let's, I'm gonna go do my own thing. Or you see guys, kind of take a step forward as a team. I thought a lot was made last week about Shaq talking to the team, and he was one of a couple guys that did, but it was like, hey, let's come together and get better. And so to me, it's like, I say process. It's just like going on a diet, right? Just because you say you're doing it doesn't mean you do it each and every day, right? Doesn't mean when no one's around, you don't sneak in the pantry and get a cookie. Like it's just a daily discipline and daily dedication. And when adversity comes and when you're having success, it's easy to say, oh, this works. When you're struggling, when you're not winning, guys have a tendency, or all of us have a tendency to start looking for answers. And what I liked about what the team did last week was they came together. And I think they've done it even while during the stretch of games that we didn't win. I mean, I think each and every game we went out there and we put ourselves in a position to win. So I respect the team, and I respect the way that they have hung in there through a bunch of close losses. And then, Tampa Bay second half happened, and instead of falling apart, they came together this week, and I think had their best week of preparation. So I think that they've been bought in. And I think, as what I said earlier, I want to make sure I say it again. You don't have success and then buy in. That's not the way it works, or else you'll never have success, right? You have a plan, everyone attacks it, and then you hope that you have some success, and that validates what you're doing, and then you go on to the next stage where you don't just do it, you start to really believe in it and defend it. And I think we have great leaders on our team who are enforcing that and pushing that, and we have just a great group of young guys on the team that kind of do what you ask. It's a very good group to coach.
Then just real quickly, did you guys do anything to fix that whole can't see the Jumbotron replay thing for this week that we didn't get to see in action?
Yeah, there's nothing you're allowed to do. I mean, it's the rules about in the box or the rules that are in the box. You just have to look up. We just have to. We as coaches have to look up at the scoreboard. Something that people might not know is you have if you have a Thursday night game or a Monday night game or a Sunday night game, like one of those those big nationally televised games. I think you have 30 cameras. That's like 30 cameras, right? Way more than on a normal game where you might have 9 cameras. So even the one where PJ ran the ball at the goal line, and I thought maybe it was a touchdown, you're looking at it. Well, if that was, Sunday Night Football, you'd have the pylon cam. You have less cameras. So the amount of things that you can actually challenge changes. So that's something I didn't know until I became a head coach here in this league, was the differences between games and how many cameras you have. So, I was able to see the replay on the big screen. And so I guess you just have to kind of go with your gut, but no changes to what we can do in the box. And then, I just have to, me and guys that are on the field have to kind of do the best we can with what we see.
So were you not allowed to get somebody in the press box with a monitor stream just specifically for that? I just want to make sure before some of us keep popping off about that.
Yeah. So it's the NFL rule is, and I don't have it right in front of me, but it's like you can have the live TV, the feed from the TV truck. You don't get, you don't have the TV, you don't have the scoreboard. It's not synced up with the scoreboard, if that makes sense. You're not getting what the scoreboard has. Those are the NFL rules. You're just getting the live feed.
All right, cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We only have time for a couple more now, so let's go to Joe Person and finish with Mike Solarte.
Matt, PJ told us that he did not find out he was starting until right before the game, essentially, or pregame. When did you have a sense that he was going to be the choice? And with how well he played, is he now your clear number 2?
I haven't thought about whether he's the clear number 2. I mean, I thought Will was, I think if Will would have played in the game, Will would have played really well. I mean, Will was really good last week as well. I went right up until the end with Teddy, like I said yesterday. I mean, he wanted to play. I almost, I went back and forth on it. I went over and talked to Marty, talked to Joe, talked to Jake. Went over and talked to Frizz, then went back over and talked to Teddy, and then just said, "Hey, Teddy, I'm going to put you down." So that was probably, just in my, I guess this is my 8th year of being a head coach. That was probably the hardest, individual decision I probably had to make in terms of game day, So then after that, I just said, "Hey, tell PJ he's going to start."
But when did you have it in your mind that it would be PJ if Teddy couldn't go?
Just talking to Joe and Jake, probably, I guess, the day before. Still was hoping that Teddy would play though.
Hey, Coach, Mike Solarte with Spectrum News 1. You talked, and I know you've reemphasized how you wanted to say that guys are buying in, and that's not the point of this question. The question I have for you is, what kind of satisfaction or gratification are you and your coaches getting seeing these guys that are bought in, and they really, after the Tampa game and how they came together and that sort of thing, and kind of you realizing the fruits of your crop planting there to get these guys into your system and seeing it come to light the way it did on Sunday?
So I'm going to answer that really, really honestly. Like I think going out to Kansas City, and playing that game, I thought we did some really good things. And so like after every game, I say like, hey, we did this. I try to be really, really, really like cold-blooded about what I say, if that makes sense. As I share with the team today, I think you evaluate, you say, what did I do well? And what do I need to do better? And what did I learn? I think I do that for myself. I do that for each player. I do that for the team. So you're always looking at all the sides of it. So I've seen the growth. Like, we played the Saints and we had a chance to kick a field goal. So there was good, there was bad, in all of these games. I think last week, the game got away from us, but we had every chance to be in that game. So I have felt good about the progress we've been making. I've seen the seeds being sown. I really believe that. And so I've been very much at peace about what we're doing. I've been very much at peace with the job the coaching staff is doing. If I feel like a coach isn't doing a good job, I usually go and talk to them and say, hey, I feel like all the guys on the staff have been doing a great job. That being said, it was just one game, one win. I try to move on from it. However, this game was satisfying, not happy, but satisfying to me because, so many guys had to step up. And that to me is what a real team does, right? You don't have Christian, Mike steps up, Trenton steps up. Rodney Smith just joined us a few weeks ago and he's out there playing in crucial times. That tells me that A, our players are doing the right things, and B, Jeff Nixon's working overtime to get the guys, ready. We're down Russell and Johnny on the O-line, and, Dennis Daly steps up and Trent Scott steps up. Oh, and then Dennis Daly goes down. Then Sco steps back in there. That tells me that Pat Meyer's doing an elite job. And I just could go, all around the board. I've already talked about the quarterback coaches. And so I think there's a sense of satisfaction when not the win, but to play the way that we play, to throw 2 interceptions in the end zone and see the defense go out and say, don't worry about it, and get stops, to kick a 58-yard field goal. I don't know if that makes sense, but it was just, that football that we played yesterday was the type of football that I want to play. And I talk about being like a serious football place. That's what it was. It was a team playing together. It was guys stepping up for each other. It was guys, coaching staff, giving them a good game plan, but guys going out and bringing it to life. So from that standpoint, that was a sense of satisfaction that I felt, but I want to make sure I keep saying this. I have felt the progress coming, and I felt at peace about it, just not okay with the result, right? Like I felt like, okay, we're getting better. Just keep doing what you're doing. But at the same time saying we've got to find a way to go close one of these out and win. So we won this game. And just so we're like, for me, I'm still like, we had the ball twice inside the 20 and couldn't run it in at the end. We've got to run the ball. So I find all the bad things we did yesterday, and I want to correct those too. So, but in terms of our mindset yesterday, in terms of where everything was, it was satisfying. Now we've got to try to go build off of it and do it all again versus a really tough Vikings team.
All right, guys, that'll do it. Coach